came in 77, and then he's played in 7 premierships for North, 78, 79, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. They were the glory years for North, that period. And as Stuart touched upon, he played 24 Ballarat Football League interleague games. Brownie was a big time player. Often, in those days, if we were playing, say, up at Beaufort, and they might not, don't pick Beaufort out, they mightn't have had much of a ruckman. Brownie would hardly be sighted that day because there was no challenge.
Oh, look, he's a great fella. We just couldn't believe when he first come from South Melbourne how good he was. You know, where we get this guy? He played 78 games, I think, for South Melbourne at centre half back, and you know, so you've got to be a fair player to do that. You know, and when he first come to North, he was just so laid back. You know, he'd roll up every Saturday and he'd have a little car that would hold about 3 or 4 people, and he'd have about 8 in it. He had he had his own fan club from Nazareth House, and all these little guys had come with him, and we used to call them the Brownies, and they sort of stuck over the years. But Brownie was the sort of bloke that got a kick when he wanted to. He was just like Peter said, he would come during the year, like he'd just go through the motions, and but come finals time, it was a different story. He played in 26 finals for North, and 8 grand finals, for 7 premierships, and it's just
it's an amazing record, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. When you think about it, it's a great effort. It may never be equalled. I don't know.
Can't say it enough. He deserves all his accolades, and he's earned them.
One of his traits was because he came to play footy. That was the issue, and he arrived just in time for the game, whatever the preparation, because in those days perhaps there weren't the meetings 2 hours before the game, but he'd rock up ready to go, as you say, in his little car, strip, play, and as soon as the game finished, Brownie would put his clothes back on and go. And in all the time that he played at North Ballarat, he never had a shower once. And that's fair dinkum. And these are the days, not like we're seeing the City Oval today. This is when we're playing in the 70s and 80s on mud heaps all over the place. And Brownie would just pull his big tracksuit pants and his soft, what do they call those, slipper sort of things he'd wear, the Ugg boot sort of things. He'd pull his clothes on and go home. He was an imposing presence on the ground, very imposing presence. I think in those days he would have to be considered the best, probably country ruckman, certainly the best ruckman running around Ballarat, with all due respect to a few of the others. But a great fellow, and today he still goes. He's got a very good football brain, and you'll see Brownie at the games all over Ballarat. He still helps St Pat's College. He helps the first 18 up there with Howard Clark. He's a unique fellow. Sometimes I'll be at a Rebels game and Brownie will sidle up, and some guy from Oakley Chargers will be playing, and Brownie will tell you, oh, that's so-and-so, and he's very promised because he's got an intimate knowledge of a lot of players. He's got a very good footy brain, which not many people would have thought about, really, that was one of his attributes. But
he had his own thought pattern of how he was going to go about his football, and I think that's really carried through, and I think that's no secret in Ballarat, but he's just had an unbelievable career, and really, I think, for a long while I didn't have a lot to do with Pete, but I really enjoyed having in the Winfield Championships in the 80s. He was a staunch big game player for both North Ballarat and for the Ballarat teams, and his record is just unbelievable for his sustainability and what he's really done for footy, and full marks for him for this award. He's just done a great job.